Hello, welcome back to Western Montana Views.
I'm Lee.
I'm Ryan. How's it going? Today we're going to talk about products that are made in America. So, basically we just, I went through and kind of just made kind of a summary list and we'll just go through it. So, made in America, it shouldn't just be a goal. It should be a priority. And we have to make and manufacture goods in America and hopefully in a more sustainable way.
Sure. I think that we found out our vulnerability by being too much of a one world sort of a thing. We need...
The problem is all the industries have been sold out.
Right. Well, we need to have reliable go-to made in America products.
Mm-hmm.
PPE.
Yeah.
PPE should be made in America.
Right.
That's a vital sort of a thing. Ammunition for our military.
Right.
These sort of things. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I don't think you should just be able to call yourself an American company just because you have an LLC or an incorporated behind your name, basically. Right. You need to be able to keep and source parts in America. You need to, keep your support staff, in my opinion, in America. When you manufacture the parts and put it together into its final product, the quality control should be done in America. Basically, everything should be done, as far as making American products here. Can't do it with everything. We run into problems with things like heavy metals and certain like phones and things like that.
Rare earth metals,
yeah. And that's going to be an issue, and that's going to be a trade
that are
issue.
Slated for only certain type of projects.
Right.
And mostly it's in communication. It's in
electronic and digital infrastructure. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So can't get away with all of it, but I definitely agree we should be able to make more of it. Let's see what else. But I also don't think we should be selling off our ports, kind of like George W. Bush did.
No,
he wanted to do that. Yeah.
No, that was a bad idea.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, everything has been sold off. Basically, all of our industries have been sold off since the late 40s.
Right. At some point, your security in products has to be tempered against the human instinct to be selfish.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, how much money do you need?
Right.
Are you trying to buy the planet?
Mm-hmm. Right. Are you getting what you need?
Right.
So, I also think Made in America is also, buying from American companies locally. That's an American company if you're buying from the local store.
Mm-hmm.
If you're buying from, not some megalopoly,
Right. Well, we have a neighbor that makes cabinets.
Sure.
Why wouldn't you buy from him? You could buy foreign-made stuff.
Now the argument would be that, well, his is probably more expensive, but he probably puts
not.
More, but maybe not. And he probably puts more attention and
into detail.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. He's got it dialed in.
Exactly, yeah.
A classic case of my cabinets are American-made by the neighbor down the street. As opposed to Wayfair. Now, I've bought enough.
Sure.
I've bought a number of products from Wayfair. Okay, some products I've had to send back. Some products I've kept. And I am rather agnostic in my possessions. If it works, I keep it. If it doesn't work, I bitch about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I throw it away. And I get something better.
Right.
So, yep.
And, even if some of these things do cost a little bit more on what they're doing, as far as what we're making,
mm-hmm.
the wages will probably be higher if there's subsequent jobs because of this work.
Though, because...
Yeah, and it's becoming less and less nowadays anymore.
Possibly, because
sure.
Automation is coming more into play,
mm-hmm.
and you can't compete with a robot.
Nope.
A robot can work 24/7. Doesn't need
without
a rest.
having to eat, without having any goals
Doesn't
or
need
motivations. Yeah, otherwise, yep.
All it needs is power and maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
So yes and no to that.
True.
Yes and no.
But I think having products made in America kind of just, it keeps the tax base inside America.
Well, we're trying.
The money doesn't escape America as well.
We're trying.
The profits stay.
We're trying
it
to
gets
make
taxed.
jobs
Right.
for the middle class to be employed in. There can be a slew of them if we just start manufacturing at home. And I'm not saying to manufacture at home for the national pride. I'm just talking about it being a practical thing.
Yeah,
if we're on our own, we need this, that, and the other thing.
Right.
And it would be nice to not have to order overseas, wait for a delivery.
At the very least, if you're ordering overseas, try to order from our allies, try to order from Japan, try to order from Europe, try to order from South Korea. Try to order from our allies. If you can't truly get it made in America, try to go to the next best thing and help our allies out,
Right, and I'm not bashing any other country that makes products.
No.
Like, normally, and I know that it's popular, that China, well, I did some research, and I am shocked at how much money stays in America for us dealing with China.
Oh, it's true.
The reason that...
Think about how Walmart gets filled up,
The reason that China is so in the headlines now is because they're an easy mark to criticize. And because of the trade wars, the tariffs.
I'd also say the former president had something to do with it, too.
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. He did
driving the jingoism a bit.
Right.
Just a little, yeah.
Just a little bit. I'm surprised when other countries around the world are just as guilty, but you don't hear us complaining about them.
Well, we only care about ourselves, basically, here in America, it seems.
Right. And so I'm not bashing any other country that makes products. I'm just saying that it used to be that America made so much and the quality of it was so good that everyone around the world wanted that American-made product.
Sure.
What we're talking about in an American-made product, what's typically been desired in a product, is that you want something that works.
Sure.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
That is a big thing. Right out of the box, it works.
Yep.
Right? It doesn't break. Planned obsolescence.
Oh, I hate that.
I hate that. It's what happened even with gaming platforms.
Well, and they call some of that a-hole design. Try not to swear, but a-hole design.
Sure, they plan for it to break so that you buy something else.
Yeah.
If you have home appliances, they last at best about 5 years, and then you got to get another one. Well, that goes against the American spirit of it working, it doesn't break, it lasts forever, and you buy it once. Let me give you an example.
Sure.
This is a Martin fly fishing reel.
Okay.
It's at least 100 years old. Made in America. Works like the day it was made. Made in Mohawk, New York. Now, I don't know if this Martin Fishing Reel Company is still in existence. Probably are. Wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't. Don't know about it. So you fishing aficionados, you could school me on that. The point is, it's over 100 years old, and it still works. 100 years old. I was out in my tool bin. You wouldn't believe the wrenches I have. Forged in America, made in America, Bethlehem steel.
Sure.
This is something that's probably 150 years old. It's a relatively small little pipe wrench, but it could probably grip anything.
How do you know it's 150?
Because my grandfather owned it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It could definitely be over 100, yeah.
Definitely over 100. It's made in need my glasses. Oh, I'm wearing my glasses.
Yeah, I just never seen it before, so that's why I was asking.
Yeah,
not to put you on the spot.
Jamestown. Where's Jamestown? Massachusetts?
Yeah, there's probably a lot of Jamestowns too, but Jamestown, We'll go with Massachusetts. Yeah.
We'll go with Jamestown, Massachusetts.
Hey.
You can twist pipe with this all day long.
Sure.
Works like the day it was made. It works. It doesn't break. It lasts forever. And you buy it once. That is what we mean by American made.
Right. Now, as far as jobs go, how do we bring back some of those jobs back to being made in America?
Well, interestingly, there is a new trend among manufacturers. You want to hear what it is?
Sure. Yeah.
It's called reshoring.
Reshoring.
Okay, remember
So
that?
instead of offshoring, you mean? Or
Right.
what?
Right.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
And the reason that is happening is that the benefits and the perks that they used to have in China since the tariff wars aren't as lucrative as they have been. And they aren't making any money. They wouldn't make any more money making their product in China than they would in the U.S. So why not do it in the U.S. and pay Americans the wage?
Mm-hmm.
Reshoring. So some companies are coming back exclusively making their product in America. So I need to get straight with my notes here. There are many companies that are still in America, that have always been in America.
Never left? Or
Never left.
Okay.
Familiar products. So if you want to buy American, because you're an American, America,
Yeah.
you can start out with a Weber grill. Now, you probably have one already. But if you need to replace it, Weber grills, charcoal barbecue grills. Mm-hmm. They're everywhere. I probably got 2 in the garage.
Yeah.
Probably got 1 in the storage shed.
Mm-hmm.
Buy it once. Works forever. You know?
Well, you ended up buying it a few times, but you liked it enough that
it
you got
is
it
the
several
most
times.
basic grill that you can get.
True. And I'm just teasing, but yeah.
Well, Weber grills. You know,
there you go.
Somewhere there's someone, if you're watching, you're probably going, well, I got a Weber grill. Yeah, it makes you proud.
Mm-hmm.
Made in America.
Who else?
Airstream Trailers.
Okay, so like
You know,
those
the camp trailers that look like airplanes without the wings on them. They're made of aluminum and stuff. Airstream. Yeah. Small, large, whatever. Yeah, they're made in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
They're made in Ohio. And if you ever stepped in one of them,
I'm dreaming of having one of those someday, man.
Right.
Like,
yeah, Airstream Trailers.
Not that I don't go tenting or go in the woods that way, but like when the day comes, yeah, it'd be nice to have it.
Right.
One of those.
Right. Something a little closer to home.
Sure.
And you've known this, but I'll remind you of it. Gibson Guitars.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, Gibson Guitars. They are made in Tennessee and Montana. And we've known people that have worked for Gibson Guitars.
Yeah, we do.
And they don't like to really advertise it.
No.
But their factory is in Bozeman, Montana. And they make great work. I had a buddy that worked there that gave me a tour. And it was phenomenal. Still making them. Let's see, what else here? Anybody like the NFL? Who's your favorite team?
Well, they're out now, but Seahawks.
Seahawks, yeah, they're out now this year.
Yeah.
Wilson Football, supplier to the NFL.
Okay, yeah.
Made in Ada, Idaho, Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah, so if you're kicking around, even if you're not a professional ball player, if you've got a football, chances are it's a Wilson. And that is American made. If you're out tossing your football to your buddy, that's America.
Well, even the sport itself is America, because everywhere else, football is, soccer to us.
Right.
We call it soccer.
Right.
Right.
Crayola.
Okay. Yeah.
Crayola crayons.
Sure.
You bet. Can't get any more than that. Stetsons.
Okay. So hats.
Well, not any hat. You're talking cowboy Stetson.
Right.
Don't touch my hat.
Yeah.
Made in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Stetson hats. They're probably over 100 years old.
Oh, easy.
Right? My next door neighbor was a paratrooper. He carried this in his pocket, had it forever. rubbed off the jump wings that were on the side of it. It was a Zippo Lighter.
Oh, yeah?
Zippo Lighter, if you've ever read anything. Made in Bradford, Pennsylvania. Zippo Lighters.
Did you want to hear that they patented the sound of the Zippo Lighter?
They should.
They did.
Click, click.
Yeah.
Click, click. Well, here's...
Yeah, and they did.
So I did...
So if you actually use that in, like, let's say, Foley or whatever, you got to pay that.
No.
You got to pay the ladder toll. Oh, yeah.
Well, good for you, Zippo. Anyway, they are such a cool company that if you had an old one, you had Grandpa's, and it wasn't working, you can send it to them. They will refurbish it.
Lifetime.
They will send it back to you. If you have...
You probably make their day.
If you have a destroyed Zippo Lighter, the lid is off of it, it's totaled. If you donate it to Zippo, they'll use it again in their manufacturing. They'll melt down the components. They'll take it apart. They'll use what they can, and they'll make another Zippo out of it. So you wonder when you buy a brand new one at the store, if you buy a brand new one at the store, hey, is this a refurbished? It doesn't matter. It's going to work and work longer than you're going to live, right? Play baseball? Louisville Sluggers. And of course, they're made in Louisville, Kentucky. Hard wood, good wood. Oh, let's see, what else? Igloo Coolers.
Okay, yeah. I've used those a lot.
Or ice makers. Now, I'm not sure about your 21st
No, that
century
one's...
ice maker.
No. In fact, that one even says made in China, I admit. But...
And the reason that's so much
But
is
it's trademarked from them, yeah.
The reason...
It's assembled there, but it was designed in America.
Right.
That's what I'm telling you, though.
The reason that China is so integrated into our product structure is mostly for the electronica that goes into it. The timers on a coffee pot.
Sure.
This, that, and the other thing. Even if they don't make... a particular engine. They might make the circuitry that is in the on and off switch.
Sure.
At some point, we are all still going to be involved with each other as a one world sort of a deal. But the U.S. has so cut back on its production.
Oh, yeah.
So fired the workers that used to work in that industry that it is so noticeable, and it needs to be corrected.
Like, for example, I know people in your generation just nonstop, oh yeah, I got overtime this week, got overtime this next week, got overtime this next week, Do you think we get overtime?
Oh, no, I don't think...
you think we even get benefits?
I don't think...
Yeah, I guess this is millennial, baby boomer, generational
right.
again, but... It's true though. That's what's happened over the last
right, and it's so gradual.
It's the degradation of jobs. It's the degradation of work. It's the degradation of, But then, by the time you look at it, it's if there's only bosses and people working, then every worker is going to think that boss is a piece of crap, and every boss is going to think their workers are pieces of crap.
Right.
That's the ultimate end. You
right.
know.
And the change is so gradual. It's not even noticeable until one day everyone wakes up and go, hey, that isn't fair. That's not the same field that you were playing on when you were my age.
Yeah.
How selfish can you be?
Right.
So, anyway.
So what we're hoping to do is just level the playing field.
Right.
Bring some of this back,
Well, it's just that we...
And I think there's an opportunity with solar and other renewable energies in the future. I think there's other opportunities... Maybe even in the farming sector, with private companies, they could come up with cool stuff.
We should not be dependent on products from a foreign country that we absolutely must rely on. Our tires. How many are made overseas? Most. Right? We're gonna have our tires, and I'm not just talking tires for your car.
Sure.
I'm talking about tires for trucks. I'm talking about tires in earth moving machines. I'm talking about tires that dolly out the next space shot.
So
rocket.
Big
Stuff. And we need to have more of that produced in America so that if we need this, other countries just can't shut us off.
Right.
PPE, like I said. If it was up to me, I'd keep making PPE until every supply room in every hospital was jam-packed. And I would require them to report in as soon as they hit a mark of depletion. You're down 30%, here comes your next shipment. PPE. We were caught flat-footed with no PPE. What the hell?
Yeah, and that's because we've sold off a lot of our, true manufacturing capabilities, and that is a true problem, and that should have never happened.
Exactly right. Smith & Wesson guns.
Probably a lot of guns.
For you shooters.
Probably made in America.
For you shooters.
But Smith & Wesson, okay.
Springfield, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And of course, Harley Davidson. Made in Milwaukee.
Okay.
But there's a caveat to that. Okay? So those are the familiar things that are made in America. We also have so-called American-made products and brands. So-called. And by that, it has foreign components in the product. Right? L&L Bean. If you're a fan of their shoes, their coats, their slickers, their hats, their clothing.
Can't say. Yeah.
If you're really trendy and got to have that L&L Bean thing, it's made in China. If you've got a thing with China, give up your clothing. Get naked.
Get naked. It's for America.
Get naked. It's for America.
What else?
Well, Harley Davidson.
You mentioned them?
Yeah, American company. They are an American company. And they've had some growing pains between, different people that were authorized to make a Harley, and then they bought back certain patents and stuff like that. But their expanded manufacturing is in China. I would assume that it's for different sort of models of bikes that you can get. Levi Strauss.
Yeah, where are they? China?
Few styles are 100% American made. Few. Okay, and the rest are made in Bangladesh, China, Mexico.
So that all Americana look.
Yeah.
That blue jean look.
Yeah,
from
I think that they can even fake. I think they can even fake the skull circle in the back of pockets at this point.
Maybe.
I'm shit you not.
Yeah.
Radio Flyer, the little red wagons.
Yeah.
That you play with kids, or as a kid. Since 2004, they're made in China. Hey, if you need a good wagon, Radio Flyer is a good one. So what if it's made in China?
But that's just it. There are so many products that you wouldn't think otherwise. You would go, oh yeah, that's American. Oh yeah, that's American. Oh yeah, that's American. And then you go to your local store and you buy it, right? You know, and then you bring it home and you're like, I've never bought Chinese. Yeah.
No, you have.
Yet when you go and look at the made in label or made from or by label, you're gonna see quite a few.
Right.
You know, and or Bangladesh or anywhere else. It's just. That's just reality.
Right. My Chevy Silverado.
Made in Mexico.
Mexico. Heavy duty models.
Yeah.
Heavy duty models are made in Mexico.
Yep.
Now for you Ram truck owners that are going, yeah, that's right, Silverado, your Ram 1500.
Yeah.
It's made in Michigan.
Okay.
And Mexico.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
iPhones. Got one? China.
Pretty much all the cell phones are gonna have Chinese parts in them.
And to be fair, I don't think iPhone promotes itself as American made. Buy an iPhone. It's American made. They've never ever.
I don't think they've
ever said that.
No. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So anyway, just a few things that sound American, you've always thought might have been American.
Right.
But again, there's a little blurring of the lines there. Doesn't mean that they aren't good products.
Right.
It just means that you cannot be a purist.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But there's reasons why, for example, I'll buy Sony. Sony's from, and I know it's not from America, but there are allies are from Japan, you know? Mm-hmm. Us helping their economy helps our economy.
Oh, for sure.
You know, so at the very least, if it's a product that I believe needs to be, you know, from electronica, I'll do whatever I can to make sure it's a Japanese part.
Sure. Right.
I will do my best. Anyway.
We had mentioned onshoring or reshoring, companies coming back. Mm-hmm. Caterpillar.
Okay. Yeah. Where were they?
Probably, I don't know. I'm just guessing at this point. Probably China.
China or Eastern Europe or something like that.
Something like that. And it's a company that's, you know, trying to be exclusively American made. Now, when you go and check out their controls, their electronics in the Caterpillar, maybe there's a caveat there saying, yeah, but we buy our electronics from China.
Right.
Or whatever, you know. Everyone thinks that, oh, if you deal with China, they're really hurting the profits that America is, that should go to America, you know. But actually, the piece of pie that China steps on is actually Japan.
Oh, sure.
Japan formerly was providing America with all of its electronica. Mm-hmm. China got into the act and quickly swamped Japan. Mm-hmm. So it's not like America is suffering for dealing with China.
Right.
What is it? 10% of every dollar, 10% goes to China, and the rest stays in America. Mm-hmm. And depending on the size of what you're buying, of course, you know, you're paying more of that 10% or whatever.
Right.
So everyone thinks, yeah, you deal with China, you're taking away wages from the Americans. Well, you know what? They're mostly taking it away from Japan.
Yeah.
There was a time where everything was made in Japan. Mm-hmm. We sold them
all the electronica, all the audio equipment, all the video producing equipment, like you name it.
Everything.
You know?
And we gave, and what we did is we gave them an economy after World War II.
Right.
They had nothing.
Yeah, they didn't.
Because we flat kicked their butts.
Yeah.
They had nothing.
Right.
But they needed an industry.
They needed industry. Yeah.
Right. And at that time, America made very little electronics. You could maybe buy a TV. I forget. You know, I don't know. Was it Magnavox?
That was I have American no idea. Made, I have no idea.
Right. But then we started getting into RCA. I don't know if I'm right on that one. We handed them over an electronic industry, and they took the ball and ran with
practically an empire, and they ran with it. Yeah.
I remember when I got out of the service, the big buzz was, everybody hates Japan. They own half of Manhattan. And yeah, okay, they owned a lot of stuff. They were buying a lot of stuff. They were rich.
Well, why didn't America think of that for themselves? You know, if they're so smart, why, you know what I mean?
Don't know, but here's the deal. In 75, when I got out of the service, that was the situation. They were considered rich. Everyone was mad at Japan. And within the next 2 or 3 years, they sold everything off. And now there's very little that Japan has in America. Now it's China.
Right.
China's the new enemy. Well, God damn it.
So you're seeing a pattern then, like Japan was the enemy, now China's the enemy, and then later there's going to be a new enemy.
Of course there is. It'll be Mexico, the new enemy. Canada.
So anyone that's supplying an extraordinary amount of items to America, then just becomes the bad guy socially. Interesting.
Let me back up on that 10%. 10% of every $100 that goes overseas, $10 of every $100 goes overseas. The rest of it stays in America. And this number hasn't changed in 15 years. The most latest 15 years.
Okay.
We're keeping 90%.
Right.
That's a pretty good deal, right? 56% of what's paid to Made in America products goes to the U.S. workers and the companies.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let's see, what was my other... I had something else there. Yeah.
Finding it there?
No, I'm not. The point is that America companies are making big money because they have infrastructure considerations, parts, designs, distribution, and stuff, and then their laborers, right? And everything's supposed to finally trickle down to the neighbors.
Right.
I have never had a faith in trickle-down economics. True, they have overhead to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the one that's getting the scraps
are the workers.
Are the workers.
Oh, absolutely. And with that, we're going to end with that just because we're at that mark. So thanks, everybody, for watching. We appreciate it. If you could subscribe to the channel and ring the bell, that would help us out a lot. We look forward to doing this at least a few times a week. Thanks for watching.
Made in America.
Made in America.
See ya.
See ya.